All right, Shalom. We the Hebrew Israelites coming to you week in and week out. Prophesy the downfall of America. First and foremost, our honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. And the sincere Shalom, all the Akim, all labor in the truth, and sincerity and sound doctrine. More willingness is edified. But I just wanted to touch up on the subject, brother in the camp leader, the recent weeks we had the situation with Elijah Cummings and Donald Trump, saying how much of a shithole or roach and rat infested place Baltimore was with this guy Elijah Cummings. And right now I'm not in his district, that he ran when he was I forget what position he held here in Baltimore, but I'm in the East Baltimore community right now. As you can see, it's like it appears to be an okay community to live in. We're here near the campus of Morgan State University, but this is actually a high crime infested area. Okay, now I'm passing the reservoir. Okay, and I'm right past a high school that I attended for a year, Mervo Vocational Technical High School. Okay, but this is just like so. It was a working class community, all right. And with regentrification, you see a lot of Jake that couldn't afford or be in certain neighborhoods, whereas though it's now affordable because of things like Section 8 and different programs that Esau have, where certain communities can be regentrified in order to bring the value of it back up. Now, when I was a kid, how close I was to the straight up hood, it was like, this is a whole different place. You see Jake on the corner selling waters, but this was like further up where I just came from. That was looked at as the suburbs, okay? But the closer and closer I get down here to where I actually came up at, you see how much of a shithole it really is, man. And I'm talking, when you see the crime rate or different stories that come on the news where, violence or things go down, this is one of those areas. This is what they call, Zone 18 Baltimore, East Baltimore. And it's like all Israelites live here, man. And now you start to see, all nations down here, man. And a lot of this, like the block of Great go down now, this is highly sought after real estate where Esau wants to gentrify, okay? I'm talking whole blocks where he wants to knock down or have knocked down houses where people once lived, okay, once worked jobs, raised families. I came up in this area in the early 80s, late 80s, and early 90s. And as you can see, look at this, man. This is like a war zone. This looks like a third world country, right? There used to be houses over here on this side, but okay, you can see that they're all knocked down. And then over here, I got quite a few friends where I grew up and came up with where we would put to death on these same streets, or we just all struggled together on the same streets, man. So that's part of the regentrification that's going on here in Baltimore. I'm now ready to turn down the main street that I grew up on, which is Tivoli Avenue. And as you can see, me and the brother Taz Warrior did a video down here a few years ago, and it just shows that where there were once houses, there are no more. It's just a one big open field, okay? None of this used to be like this, okay? This used to be all houses, okay? Families, in the summertime you see them out, fire hydrant going, cookouts going. All at the same time, it was a lot of drug activity going on. now, that's a friend of mine, you know, brother I grew up with, mural for his mom or whatever. But, you know, but yeah, man, you know, this is once a thriving working class community, so to speak, you know. But I'm gonna take a trip up. Yo. Hey, I'll be right back, yo. Salah. Got business to work due for the Lord right now. You know, it's later for these guys you knew in the world, you know. But I just wanted to take a tour down that turn down that block to show you, you know, what there were once houses, which are now knocked down, and you got a lot of boarded up areas where drug activity could thrive. You know, now I'm at Lord willing, I'm taking through certain neighborhoods for over here in East Baltimore, and the brother Carras's bar, he's over in West Side. You know, we're gonna meet up and Lord willing do a sit down and just show you Baltimore City and what people here took as Trump, you know, down talking or talking bad about Baltimore, when he was absolutely right, man. You know, Baltimore is a rat-infested, roach, ran down shithole, man, as a whole, man. Hey, America, it's not just limited to one city or one zip code, you know, one area, man. We talking the entire United States of America, man. You know? We'll make a turn down this other street where, you know, the regentrification process started years ago, where you got house after house. You know, Baltimore is known for its row houses. Okay, you know, that means, you know, houses next, you know, in close proximity next to each other. But I forget the scripture offhand, but it says, "Woe unto you who join house to house." Okay, and this is the way of living here in Baltimore, man. You know, now this whole block and grade ride down, you know, as you can see, there used to be houses, places of business, a laundromat used to be here. You know, this corner right here, this very spot, you know, I know quite a few guys that I came up with, they got killed, murdered right there in that same spot. Now this whole row of houses here, you know, it's going to be knocked down, okay? But you have some people still living in these goddamn roach motels, man. You know. And hey, man, I lost a lot of so-called friends in the world in these same streets, man. You know, people killing each other that grew up with each other. I'm talking from the sandbox on up, man. You know. And I used to drive public transportation here, right? And I always say, you know, even beforehand, you know, it's not okay. I've been involved with public transportation for over 19 years now, pretty much. And it was a hard, very, very hard, high demand of stress. Okay, and these group of stores right here on Harford Road, you know, and we call that hole in the wall right there that I just passed. Well, it's a hole in the wall for the simple fact that it's in the middle of the hood. They serving Chinese food, and you could go there and lose your life. Okay, what was the point I was making? Driving public transportation here in Baltimore, you know, there's not a line or a bus line where the bus isn't traveling through a drug-infested area or so-called bad community. Okay. Now we know the scriptures say that, woe though I walk through the valley in the shadow of death. Anywhere here in America, there's no assurance of life. Okay, it's the shadow of death. You know, and I'm ready to go ride through some communities where, at any time of the day, even the brother Crossbar, you know, over in West Baltimore, that's the area he grew up in. Well, people aren't a stranger to seeing shootings or murders or drug deals or anything go down in broad daylight. Okay. Now I'm going into an area now. It's called Down the Hill. Okay. In North Avenue, between the areas of Bel Air and North, or North and Gay, on up to Greenmount and North Avenue. That's pretty much down the hill or east side. Okay. And I guess you could say this is where it goes down at, man. You know. But really now the county is like the city because it's all been regentrified, okay? You know? The brother, I think his name is Yahweh Duh, you know? He came here pretty much on a trip, you know. The brother from Hawaii, I think he's originally from Philly, but he came here on a trip and visited this so-called Blacks and Wax Museum here in Baltimore, and he said it just was a long street of you know, just niggas out everywhere, and then at the top of top of the block, which I'm approaching now, at the top of the hill was a huge graveyard. Hey man, this whole city is just a huge graveyard, man. I'm gonna turn down a few blocks where, you know, I've had family growing up in this area. You know, I had family spread out all over East Baltimore, you know, from North and Wolf, North and Chester, wherever on down, man. And as you see, I'm approaching the corner, which is a high, you know, they got a lot of so-called rehab clinics or rehabilitation centers. And as you can see, you know, just Jake is in a bad state out here, man. You know? This isn't living, man. You know, the kingdom is not going to be like this where, you know, Jake is suffering, man. You know, I'm going to bring the camera in so I can get a close-up on this so you can see firsthand, okay? Jake really fucked up out here, man. You know, all of these people right here are what you would call, what we call here in Baltimore, recovering addicts. Okay. Or overhead junkies, man, you know. They did a study a few years back, and there was an article saying that this is right here. I kind of agree, but this right here, North and Gay, is the most dangerous corner in America, or it was either America or East, or America or on the East Coast. Okay. Now. Now this area here, down the hill, I'm on Milton Street now, man, but, you know, I'm trying to drive a little slow so you can see, man, but this whole block is pretty much boarded up, man, you know, no occupancy, but we might have a house in the middle or here and there where, you know, people are still living here, trying to hold on to this little community here, man. You know, and from my knowledge to my knowledge, you know, even when my uncles or, you know, elders in my family, you know, were coming up, this has always been a bad neighborhood, okay? You know, it's always been Jake living in the struggle, man, you know? You had a lot of black-owned businesses, you know, mom and pop's corner stores, groceries, barber shops, you know, shoe shops, you know, get your tailor-made suits, you know, because that's how they dressed back in them days. But as you can see, man, this is pretty much like third world living, okay? You in this corner here, you know, you got a sub shop called Jimmy's. You know, it's always been known as a death trap. You know, when I say death trap, you know, you could be going there to get your food, you know, and die from it. You know, or you could be going there and get caught up in somebody's beef and get shot up. You know, making it a death trap, man. You know, this is a high gang drug area. You know, normally this time of the day this place is lit up, but for whatever reason, which is Thursday, you know, and across America, you know, they got a saying, you know, this is jump out day. You know, Tuesdays and Thursdays you gotta watch for the sweep. You know, that's a lyric from one of the rap songs, Juvenile, Cash Money, whatever. But Tuesday and Thursdays is normally a sweep day, you know, where police do their jump outs and raids. So maybe this is why this area is not lit up as it normally would be, you know. But hey man, you know, Philly, Baltimore, New Jersey, Camden, wherever, man, is pretty much the same situation. LA, you know, there's some people out, you know, but 9 times out of 10 is drug activity. All right, you know, I want to be on the low because you know, these niggas out here act a fool, man. But it's whatever, man. I'm in the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, so hey, man, we're doing the work of the Lord right now, so it doesn't even matter. You know, just wanted to get some footage, you know, of what Trump was talking about. Now I'm gonna look it up. I forget which district. I think Elijah Cummings had the Garrison community, like up off of Garrison, Liberty Heights, and all over there, where that was pretty much considered his district, you know. And Trump himself, you know, he got a lot of property. Him and his his son-in-law, they own a lot of properties here in Baltimore, you know, rental properties. And I got a friend of mine that lived in one, still live in one, and you know, it's a shithole. It's a slumlord. Like when I say apartment or communities, apartment complexes where you'll have a number of apartments with, you know, with a lot of people living in. Now I'm gonna go to an apartment complex and show you what I mean. But it's just a group of duplexes or even apartments stacked on top of each other, where, you know, you might have a one washer unit where the whole unit, they go in, they share that washing machine. Some apartments have units within each apartment, but it's just apartment. It's an apartment community, man. I'm gonna show you what I mean. But Trump and his son-in-law, they own quite a few of them. Now the area I'm in now, I'm on Madison, approaching Broadway. But this area, this hospital here, Johns Hopkins, pretty much owns the majority of it. You know, you would think a conglomerate hospital such as Johns Hopkins would have more of an active role in the community. And then here it is, you know, I'm in a city where you have a football and a baseball team. Now you have some cities that have a football team, a baseball team, or multiple football and baseball teams and a hockey team. But these athletes, you know, they grossing, and these owners, they grossing in all this money, but they're giving nothing back to the community but a dedicated playground, or they may adopt a school, okay? Now Johns Hopkins own all of this. This is Johns Hopkins here to the left, okay? But they're really actually doing nothing and putting nothing